Look at it. It's so beautiful.
Okay, so this is my dad's E36 M3. I think it's a 99 or a 98 with the convertible top, all that good stuff. Black, 160,000 miles. It's a good car, but I convinced him to buy this a couple of years back, and he's kind of just sat on it because he doesn't have the time to work on it. So while I'm down for the winter break, I decided, okay, I'll help him out. I want to do a couple of maintenance things on it. So the first problem for sure is that the car will not idle cold. And that's usually the idle control valve, the ICV. And what happens is they kind of get gummed up with junk, and all you have to do is you pull it out, clean it, and that's most of the time that solves your problems. Otherwise, I'm looking for vacuum leaks, maybe problems in the fuel system, things like that. But I'm fairly certain it's just the ICV. Just gonna pull that out real quick, but I'll show you the problem. It just doesn't want to start. It starts, it dies. You can keep it going if you hold it at like 2 grand and just until it warms up and the ICV gets worked out. But all that ICV does is this, it's just this unit, and it has this valve that meters how much air is passing around the throttle body, because the throttle body's closed whenever you're idling, around the throttle body to just let the engine idle. And when it gets gunked up, you just can't get the damn thing to run. Let's try it out. Okay, so most of you already have been working on your E36 and all that junk for a little while. But basically what I'll be using is just some screwdrivers, a set of basic sockets, a couple of extensions, and then this is the most important part as far as stuff you won't have. This is mass airflow cleaner, or carb cleaner would work the same, but I typically will default on parts like these to mass airflow cleaner, just because mass airflows, if you use carb cleaner on mass airflow sensors or brake cleaner on mass airflow sensors, you'll ruin them. So it's a more sensitive part, and I don't know how sensitive something is, and I'd rather not buy another ICV, because new they're several $100s, and used they're probably 30 bucks, but I have to get them here, and then there's no guarantee that they work. So I just default, I spend a couple extra bucks and I get the mass airflow cleaner. You just grab this from any auto parts store. But now we can just start ripping in. First step is going to be removing the intake, things like that. Then probably the throttle body, just to get it out of the way. And then I'll work my way down, because the ICV is under this intake manifold here, and I hope I don't have to remove that. Okay, so this has an aftermarket air intake, obviously, that I actually kind of built for this car a couple of years ago. But it's fairly simple to remove. I'm actually just going to split it here, and then this will be, out of the way, and I can just work on the ICV and stuff under here. But if you have the stock E36 airbox, it's not too difficult to remove. But I'm not going to show you that because it would just take too long. Okay, so for me, I take this apart. It's 2 hose clamps. And then I'll just pull this, get that off the mass airflow, separate this, take this throttle body. Okay, so here we go. And then this puppy right here, this line, this tube right here, is what is actually connecting to the ICV. So this right here, back here, you can't really see behind this plate, is the actual ICV. Now I just have to get this off, and then I can work at this, and I hopefully will not have to remove the manifold. Ta-da! I got it. Okay, so now with the ICV out, you can just, you see it's got this port in there, and then it goes to the other side. You just take a screwdriver, pull this hose clamp off, pull the other side off, and if you can see in there, it's got some junk, all that good stuff. So basically what I'll do is I spray a whole bunch of this carb cleaner in, or mass airflow. I'll just hold it upright and kind of fill up the whole chamber thing. Cover up both sides again. Shake it. It's a good idea to wear gloves with this because it'll dry out your hands pretty bad. You see all this junk? This is all the crap that's in there. Okay. So, there's the plug for it. What I'll basically do is just move this stuff out of the way and press this back into place. It's all under. Make sure it's nice and free. Then you just put in the all rest of the throttle body bolts. Now I'm going to spray some of this mass airflow cleaner through the actual airflow, the mass airflow, just for a good measure. Just a hair though. It's very important that you don't use anything besides mass airflow cleaner for this, because it can damage these mass airflow sensors beyond repair. Running out of daylight. Basically, after changing that whole ICV and all that nonsense, I wasn't getting any better of an idle. I looked at it a bit and I said, maybe it's the mass airflow sensor. I just unplugged the mass airflow sensor and started it up. Boom, started up fine. Really annoying, but that's the way it goes sometimes. Have to order a new mass airflow sensor, replace that. Shouldn't be too expensive. I can probably get a used one for, you know, probably 30 bucks, something like that. I've done it before. Good stuff. Good stuff. Try to help. Take several hours. Clean an ICV. Ends up being the O2 sensor that, or the mass airflow sensor that I could have just unplugged to check and see if it works. So that's a pro tip. If you're having issues with an idle or things like that, so, on an OBD2 car, sometimes you just unplug the mass airflow and see if that helps. And if that helps, it's because the computer is compensating for the lack of signal. It sees that there's no signal coming from it, and it compensates with just sort of it'll be like a transfer function, just a basic transfer function that'll figure it out based on, you know, idle temperature or rev temperature, things like that. So you just unplug it. If it runs better, replace it. Same thing with O2 sensors. If you're running really, really rich then you can simply unplug your upstream O2 sensor, so the one before the catalytic converter, and if it runs better, not as good as a fully functioning system, but better, then you replace that O2 sensor. It's that easy. Just thought I'd make this video quickly while I could. Thanks for watching, guys. Peace.